Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special Eclipse Cathedral game. Oh wait, I have a thing. Where's my soundboard?
You have a soundboard.
Soundboard. Oh no. Where is it?
You can do it. I believe in you. We will wait the entire game if need be.
No. Wait. Where'd it go? Ah! I'm trying to find it. There we go.
Yes! Incredible. Flawless. Unbeatable.
Hey, last time, so particularly last time, everyone gathered into a room, into a circle, and introduced themselves and talked about what was going on, except some people not really. I look at Daction and I look at, quote-unquote Sterling, who, from here on out, I will be referring to as Rod. For reasons.
We just eyes emoji at it.
Soft reasons.
Valid reasons. Sterling is a cover name. Anyways.
It's his pen name. It's what he writes under. Okay, I'll shut up now.
No, it's what he acts under. He did debut as an actor on a train.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Lady in here.
After that, you all got a long rest. Xalbaer a little later than others because you hung out a bit with your new friend, Elijah.
Yeah.
And read all the books, or as many books in the library as you could before you both passed the fuck out. Where was I going with this? Oh yes! Can my players please introduce yourselves, your characters, and give me a fact about how they sleep?
Oh, duh. Hello, y'all. I am Altaria, and today, as I forgot where that sentence is going, and today I will be Xalbaer, the 7-2 Lionheart. He does the thing, so it's been a running thing where when he goes to sleep, or like cat nap, he loafs, and then just, I don't know about the rest of him, but he definitely does some loafing in there. Usually in a corner.
So do you just come up to him and he's loafing in the corner, he's just kind of sprawled across the wall with his upper half?
Yeah.
Amazing.
If he's not got like a cozy bed or like a nest or something, it's a lot more convenient to like loaf in a corner because it like he's a Lionheart, so like he's flexible, but it's also like not as comfortable and probably not good for his back. So it's just more convenient to loaf upright.
That's him in the corner. That's him in the spotlight with his upper back on the wall. Yeah, me next because there's only 3 of us. Hey everybody, this is Tutu Kid, who is once again possessing the mortal form of Snailcomix, who is a human and not a robot or a snail. They are definitely human. And so what Tutu Kid has heard about how they sleep is they like curl up into a little ball and then they like saw logs and then until they are natural until Tutu Kid wakes up naturally. They're basically unable to be woken up, which is definitely why they missed the entire last session. That's definitely why, is because in character they were sleeping, not out of character Snailcomix was sleeping. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
10,000%.
Yes.
Yep. And 10,000%. We're gonna go with Tutu Kid. You start to wake up. And because you are dead to the world when you sleep, the thing that really grabs your attention as you start to wake up is a very soft, lightweight snuggling up against your cheek.
Tutu Kid kind of like rolls over and hugs it like a teddy bear. Yes, they're still unaware of what this thing is, but teddy bear impulse. Cuddle impulse.
And you roll over and off onto the floor, which is a little jarring. Cause you're last when you went to sleep, you were like kind of like half on Lincoln, half on Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
And when you roll off and onto the floor where you had expected Lincoln's legs to be, they aren't there. And you hear
Those are the cutest noises I have ever heard in my entire life. I need you to know. So Tutu Kid sort of like scrubs their eyes, does a big theatric yawn, and then does indeed blink their eyes open and look at the little that came from the little guy, or gal, or no one is quite
you know the
sure. Non-binary, that one.
No one is quite sure what gender bit the bat is, but that is indeed who is snuggling up against you. And as you open your eyes and yawn really wide, they look up at you and kind of just... They're very fuzzy.
You are incredibly fuzzy. Do I have permission for pats?
They kind of just tilt their head for a moment, and then they lean closer to you and start rubbing their face up against yours.
If I don't have permission for pats, you can just lean away at any time during the pats, but now I got a pats! I got a pats! Guys, I got a pats so much! Look at this!
And as
yeah, go ahead.
And as you're yelling that and looking around, the only person you recognize who's like sitting there is Alexa, who's not awake yet. In fact, she has this kind of loading bar on her screen.
Important question. How far is the loading bar?
It's like a 20%.
Oh, that's gonna be a long time to wakey.
Also, as you're looking around, you distinctly notice that the room is mostly empty now, save for the one who looks like Roderick, but isn't Roderick, but is Roderick, but isn't Roderick, who seems to still be sleeping over by the giant light wall.
Okay, so me, Alexa, and Roderick are the only people I see, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna gently pick a bit because I know you gotta be gentle with animals. And I'm gonna walk over to Mr. Not Roderick, Sterling, but I have an impulse to call them Rob for the weirdest reason. Almost like I absorbed some information during my sleep, and they very gently put Bit on top of the sleeping Rob.
Rod.
Because
R-O-D.
Rada!
You
I was
know,
like, okay,
like
Rob,
short-
I can go with that. It's Rod. Okay.
Rod, like
Yeah.
short for Roderick.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so we've got Roderick and we've got Rod. I don't know. I don't know why you added the B, but okay. I'm still waking up, y'all. I'm sorry. I mean, Tutu Kid is still waking up, y'all. Definitely. Anyway, Tutu Kid very gently puts on Rod Bit so that Rod can enjoy the sleepy plush. But you can see there's like a lot of hesitance in their posture, like, oh, this is a nice thing to do, but Fluffy! But this is the nice thing to do, he's still asleep, but Fluffy!
So, as you put Bit on top of it, Bit kind of, like, looks at you, tilts their head, and takes off and flies and lands on your shoulder.
Oh, well, okay, so listen, you are so super cute and so super fluffy, and I'd love to have you with me, but we're supposed to do these things in like threes, so if these two are still behind, then you gotta be their third, and I don't think I was assigned to their party, so like I don't want to wake them up, so you gotta stay and comfort Mr. Rod, which I don't know why I want to call him Rod instead of Sterling, but I just have this psychic understanding that he should be Rod now. So I really want you to come with me, but you gotta stay with him.
And as you're very loudly proclaiming this, Rod turns over, like, pulls his hands and presses them against his ears and goes, "Could you please be quiet? I just want a moment of peace."
Oh, well, those are really hard to find around me, but I'm trying really hard to be quiet, I promise. I'm getting you a soft and fluffy. I'm getting you a soft and fluffy, which is very important for future sleep. So, Bit, you gotta stay with him. Tutu Kid is trying very hard to continue this conversation so quietly. It's not succeeding, but they are attempting it.
As you are arguing with Bit, we're going to jump over to Xalbaer.
Please do.
Hello.
Hello. So, Xalbaer, you start to rouse from the sound of the door closing. And and as you're just kind of sleepily looking around, you spot Elijah kind of just curled up around the stuffed toy you'd given back to him. His foot kind of, doing those things where kind of like a dog in the middle of sleeping, like imagining that he's running. His feet are doing that.
Amazing.
That's so cute. That's so cute.
As you blearily blink after you had loafed next to one of the chairs and just like used the chair to lean against, you look around and beyond the pile of books, there is a suspicious-looking liquid substance in a cup. Don't worry, Daction. You actually took care of this right before you headed to the control room.
Good job, Daction.
Is there a lid on the cup, or is it just an open cup?
I'd say that would be, there would be a lid on it.
Perfect. He doesn't have a hammer space, but he doesn't want to drink it right now. So he's just going to say, awesome. Somebody left me some juice. Clearly for me to drink, but I will save it for the minute.
It's got a nice blue color.
Yes, blue raspberry.
Blue potion. Anyways, and as you're like taking this portable cup, more like a jar of some kind, and placing it among your saddlebags. You kind of hear a shuffling sound, and around the corner comes Sirius, who still looks tired.
Aren't we all?
Morning? Or evening? Have you slept?
I definitely did. I did. I did sleep. It's kind of hard. Just kind of rubbing at his eyes, and his hair is floating, and it's sticking out all like in different places.
Bedhead.
Yeah, he's got bedhead, and because he's a genasi, his hair always floats in the air.
Some serious bedhead there.
I just heard the door open. So I was gonna maybe go find the kitchen or something to eat.
Fair. Wait, which door?
This is, and he just kind of turns and points to the door out of the room that you three are in. I say three because Elijah is right there, even though he's still asleep.
Is it possible, from where Xalbaer would be standing, is it possible to check around, see if anybody came into the room? Oh wait, it's Dection that just left. Never mind. He still would do a quick peek around.
So you peek around, and well, but besides the obvious evidence of the flask with the cork in it that had been left for you, you don't see any other evidence of anyone else coming into the room.
Okay. Okay. He will. He's putting the book.
Did you want something to eat? I could wake myself up and whip something up.
It's probably a good idea to eat before dealing with the crowd.
Yes, the crowd.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're... Go ahead.
Nothing like the present, right?
Yep. Xalbaer will gesture for Sirius to go ahead out. And grab a book that they identified the previous night as one that wasn't interesting.
Wasn't?
Correct. Was not interesting.
So not the one that Xalbaer had identified as something that looks a lot like a grimoire.
Yeah, not that one. Okay. So basically what he's doing is, I had a list somewhere, it's gone now, but one of them that he wasn't super interested in, he's going to make sure, basically the goal here is to make sure that things can leave this room, because we've had things that can't leave room, so he wants to make sure he doesn't destroy a useful book.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you grab an uninteresting book.
Yeah.
Sirius leaves the room, and you can hear him kind of shuffling down the hallway. Towards the resting room, of course.
The sleepy time room.
Yep, literally. Anyways, you've got that book.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna head towards the kitchen too, and try
Okay.
not to wake anyone up.
Mm-hmm. So as you walk out into the hallway, Vexus is gone. And the book is still in your hands.
Hey! Progress!
Hey!
So you continue on down the hallway and back into the large room with a giant light wall. To the sight of most everyone is gone. Alexa is sitting face loading. Tutu Kid, you watched as the very kind of irritated UPAN walked through the room and immediately left through one of the doors.
Okay, well, he's busy. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be quiet. Okay, so, well, he's busy.
And you do see, okay, so Olive is in this room now too.
Wow, when did she appear? They appear. They appear? She appear? Hey, what's your pronouns?
And Rod, who's just about given up on sleeping, just kind of throws up his hands, gets up off the ground, and starts packing up his bedroll. And this is what you see, Xalbaer. Olive had just kind of walked into the room after Dection, and is just kind of tilting their head at Tutu Kid. What? They?
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't, mispronounce you. do you get it? Do you get it? Because
She just kind
I'm
of,
very funny.
she just kind of looks at you like, what? Like she doesn't understand what you're doing right now as you're giggling.
Tutu Kid is perfectly fine with that. If Olive asks for an explanation, one will be readily given. But if Olive is not going to, they're fine with leaving Olive in the cold.
Anyways, this is the scene you come in on, Xalbaer.
He will take this. Are there any blankets in the room?
There's one laying over Alexa's legs.
Perfect. He will grab the blanket and just, you know how, ghosts. He's just gonna drop the blanket over Alexa's head in hopes that maybe it will block out some of the input. Somebody's getting some sleep.
Tutu Kid looked ready to start a fight when you grab the blanket, but then you put it back over Alexa and they're immediately appeased, even though it's in a much weirder position now. The only thing that mattered was that blanket was for Alexa. However you put it on Alexa, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then he's just gonna he saw Tutu Kid get ready to square up, so he's gonna give a thumbs up.
Tutu Kid gives 2 thumbs up back and then walks over because Roderick is, well, no, not Roderick, Rod, formerly stirring, not Rod, with a D, not a B, with a D, is clearly irritated at them, but they are gonna grab Olive's hand as they walk over and be like, Mr. Fluffy Pants, I don't know what we're supposed to do right now, but I did irritate Mr. Rod.
Olive just goes, oh, and just walks after him. You have captured Olive. Congrats.
Xalbaer's gonna look confused for a second because he's not wearing pants. He's all fluffy. Oh my god. He's
Exactly.
You know what?
He's wearing a shirt and his pants are fluffy because he's all fluffy.
He's not gonna argue with that logic. He doesn't quite understand it, but he's not gonna argue it. He's not gonna win that argument. He's just gonna pat both Tutu Kid and Olive on top of the head and head towards the kitchen. But do the thing like you're like, okay, shoo off to the kitchen with me. Come on, let's go. Like you do with cats.
Tutu Kid, very gently, I will add, grabs onto Xalbaer's tail and does like a we're following the leader thing where they follow Xalbaer and then holding Olive's hand so Olive comes behind him and they're like, choo-choo!
You know what? He'll accept this. He'll accept this until they get to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So you walk into the kitchen, and there is Sirius and Valence, and they're just kind of standing in front of the stove together. It looks like there's eggs being made, which makes sense because that's practically the only thing that you can make in the fridge that isn't your tuna salad. You are kind of slightly kicking yourself for not getting more groceries.
Yeah.
When you went
You
to
always
East.
gotta get snacks. You always gotta get snacks.
Mm-hmm.
You brought back groceries, but, it's been a long time since then because of weird time dilation here in the Eclipse Cathedral.
Kathum!
Is there any drawing paper and crayons nearby?
Give me a investigation check.
Perfect.
It's so good.
Investigation is 4. I can do the thing, right? Is it 4? Yeah, it's 4.
Nice.
So, you're not finding any crayons or drawing paper that hasn't already been drawn on in here, but you do know where there is some, and there is another door which leads into the memory room.
He will gently, remove Tutu's hand from his tail.
Tutu
go
Kid
get
accepts
some
this.
paper. Okay. And then he will go get some paper and bring it back with, crayons. Paper and crayons, both.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Olive, do you want to draw with me? You want to draw with me? I can draw so many things. I can draw a horse, and I can draw a very angry pirate man, and I can draw a very happy pirate man.
Pirate?
The fact that, yeah. Do you know what a pirate is? I can tell you.
I'm gonna roll intelligence to see if Olive knows what a pirate is.
Do it.
6 plus 2. I don't think so.
A 10, if they've been sheltered, is probably not an 8, no. I was gonna say, since they've been sheltered with a 10, but with an 8, no.
They've only been alive for 4-5 weeks. They are a very, very new tune. So, you say pirate, and you ask them, and they just tilt their head what are you talking about?
Okay, I got this. Don't worry, Xalbaer, I got this. And they immediately launch into a short story that goes into a pirate's life is for me, but also not all pirates are like me. Let's learn about pirates. And just goes into like some of the basic foundations of like what piracy is, but also like what theft is and what's morally correct and Robin Hooding, and it's surprising that it's a short story because it goes pretty in depth.
As Tutu's doing this, Xalbaer's just gonna hand Tutu all but one piece of paper and then keep like the black crayon for himself. So that Tutu Kid can have like diagrams and drawings and things.
Yes! You know, while they're telling the story, they are also like doing little doodles, and they're like kids' doodles, but they're like at the stage past where you just draw scribbles, where it's like sort of clear what the things actually are. They're just extremely, extremely simplified.
So we start our day by explaining what piracy and theft is and what the moral quandaries of those are.
Xalbaer's gonna tune all of this out and start making a grocery list behind them.
Nice!
Yeah, as you go to the fridge to make a grocery list, Valence just kind of turns to you from where you'd been minding the stove, and Sirius just kind of slightly takes over. They've been kind of like talking quietly between each other about what Valence was making. And it's clear that Sirius was kind of giving Valence tips on cooking, which is leagues ahead of how Sirius had felt about Valence like a week ago.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. We love learning to cooperate and get along with people.
I think the whole thing of, so it's pretty clear that Valence has been doubling down on, I am Valence, I'm my own person. That has helped Sirius a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No one's trying to steal his identity and he feels better about it. Anywho, Valence turns to you and says,
I think we might need some more, like, tomatoes, fruit, something like that.
Xalbaer is writing this down. Anything in particular?
Well, spaghetti is, easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
and he just kind of tilts his head towards Sirius, and Sirius is like, yeah, spaghetti is, it's pretty easy to make, it's just noodles.
Does anyone have any food allergies, or are we just gonna...
Sirius just kind of slowly blinks at that question, and Valence just kind of gets this thinking look on his face, and he goes,
I'll ask Naomi if gosh, Naomi's not going to know the answer to that. I'll ask everyone else about the allergies.
Not sure when we'll be able to, but a list is a good start.
Valence just kind of nods, like, yeah.
Mr. Fluffy Pants?
Yes, Tutu Kid?
Tutu Kid, somehow having already finished the story, which again has gone in a lot of depth. So it's very weird that it's such a short story, but like it's cohesive and like the plot elements all work. It's just very short. It's now tugging on Xalbaer's fur and it's like, you also gotta get some animal crackers because Olive told me that she hasn't had animal crackers and they really deserve to know the taste of animal crackers.
And Olive turns and gets down from, because I assume that Tutu Kid had brought Olive over to the table, because there's a table, you can sit down here.
Oh yeah.
Olive just kind of gets up from the table and she goes, "Animal crackers."
Xalbaer's gonna take a moment because that was really cute, and then write it down and show them both the paper.
Very good. Very good.
And Olive
Tutu-
looks over the paper and nods certainly. Olive can read.
Tutu Kid can probably read.
Look, Olive's
But-
intelligence is 14. Olive can read automatically. Olive is a toon. Don't at me.
Beautiful.
Oh wait, we did prove that Tutu could read because Tutu could read Celestial. So yes, Tutu can read.
Tutu Kid might have a little bit of trouble reading common, but Tutu Kid can read. Because I remember that from, like, a previous thing you did.
Yes.
Yeah. I had to look up what languages Xalbaer knows to make sure that's what he would write. He knows common, though. He'd have written it in common on second thought, so.
What are you doing there, Snail?
I promise, for once, it's not bad. So after the animal crackers discussion, as Xalbaer is like going back to the list and Olive is like going back to coloring, and Xalbaer and Valence are still talking, Tutu Kid sort of like sidles over to Sirius very quietly and like tugs on his pants leg and like looks up, and they've got these big old eyes, but they're making sure that he's interruptible before they speak.
Mm-hmm. So you quietly sidle on, and Xalbaer, what's your passive?
15.
Yeah, you see this. Nobody else does. You see Tutu Kid just try to very slyly sidle on over to Sirius, who had gone back to, like, kind of watching Valence cook, because that's what they're doing right here, and just reach up and tug at Sirius's clothing, and Sirius just kind of mildly jolts a little and looks down. Hello?
Hi. I know that we got off on the wrong foot, because the foot that I was attached to was to my friend Roderick, and you're kind of mad at him, but I did want you to know that he really was trying to make sure that you were okay. We're not gonna make you leave if you don't want to leave. We really wanted to make sure that you were okay. And I'm sorry about the whole jail thing. I still don't know exactly how that worked out. But since I was a part of your rescue party, that's kind of sort of partially my fault. So if you're being kept here against your will, I can get you out. But if you're not, then Roderick really just did want to make sure that you were okay, because he really likes you. And it's okay if you don't like him back, because I sort of have this thing right now with my sibling where, like, I don't even know how they feel about me right now, but I'm not really sure I like them back, but I still, like, care about them. And like, yeah. Tutu Kid sort of, like, ends right there, like, I have revealed too much.
Sirius's face goes through this whole kind of face journey. Like, you start off, and Sirius... Okay, so... after, like, recovering from being surprised, because Sirius's passive perception is 8. It is 8, my dude. He's got a 7 in wisdom and an 8 in intelligence. He's here. Sirius kind of just, like, settles into, oh, this is a child, and they are talking to me, so I should put on a face that I am listening to them, sort of deal. And he just when you mention Roderick, he's got this, it's a really complicated expression on his face. Like, it's all kind of clouded over, and it's very complicated. It's kind of like a whole bunch of different emotions warring. To really understand that, I'd have to ask you to roll me insight.
I will try. Shush. Not you!
The triumphant noise after you said, I'll try.
D20 plus 1. Yeah, an 8. They're like 8. They don't understand the complicated expression.
Yeah, they're 8, and that expression is really complicated. It's like he doesn't look mad. Is the thing. He doesn't. It's just anything else you could tell from it. There is a vast amount of experience that you do not have that you need to understand this expression. And when you end, he just carefully places his hand on top of your head and ruffles your hair, and he goes, I wouldn't worry about it. It's not your fault to get.
And they sort of like whisper again, okay, but are they holding you here against your will? Because no. I could beat them up. Okay, I just had to know. We're good.
I'm here on my own volition. That's the right word, right?
Yes.
Volition?
Yes, of your own choice. So whatever happens with Roderick, I can make sure that I tell him in private that you are not being held here against your will. If you're allowed to stay angry at them. I want you to know. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you can't be angry because blah blah blah. I just had to make sure that I knew, and then therefore that Roderick knew that you weren't being forced here, because that was really the big thing that was worrying us. I mean, aside from the memories, of course, we were worried about that, but we were also worried about you, not trying to make you do anything.
Memories. Right. It's don't worry about it. Xalbaer. And he looks over at Xalbaer like, he's got this expression like, I don't know what to do here, and help.
Xalbaer looked up at his name, but it was very clear that he was like thinking real hard on whether or not anyone knows how to garden in this entire cathedral, let alone where they would put it, and like how exactly that would work. Because he does not want to keep going to town, and he doesn't know how Naomi's food situation works to get all of these things. Like,
Tutu Kid worried about their memories?
Tutu Kid's memories or someone else's memories?
Sirius looks down at Tutu Kid.
Well, everyone's memories, sort of, but also, like, my memories a little bit, but more like everybody else's memories, because, like, I got some of them back. So if Mix, that's the word. If Mix Gust needs my memories, I'd be okay with them borrowing them for a long time. Like, eventually I'd want them back. But like, I'm worried about all my friends' memories first, and then if Mix Gus needs memory second, and then my memories third.
Well, I did dump some memories out, and you lot seem to have gotten them back, and Naomi has not come to end me in my sleep, so I assume it's okay. So we can probably ask Naomi this time, before we just start dumping bottles out, to return memories. I'm not sure which ones Naomi has processed yet, but we can definitely check in on that.
Yeah, that's okay. Tutu Kid starts to say something, but then decides they don't need to.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly, the majority of why I didn't finish dumping all the bottles so Naomi could have more is because the fear of Naomi ending me in my sleep or when I'm not asleep is very high. But otherwise,
Well, I just mean I don't want to hurt Miss Naomi either. So if they need my memories, then I'd be okay keeping them on loan until they're processed. I would real quick. Tutu Kid does not know once they are processed, they are gone. Just
no,
because that probably.
That's not how it works.
No, yeah.
It's not.
It's not. So as you guys are talking, Olive gets down off of the chair and holds up a picture that she just drew towards Xalbaer, and it's a picture of Xalbaer, Tutu Kid, the bat, Sirius, Valens, the kitchen, and themselves, all in kind of a childish style. Picture.
Xalbaer will take it as though he is being granted a great boon, look it over, look at Olive straight in the face and be like, "This is beautiful, Olive. Thank you very much." And he will... Are there fridge magnets?
Yeah, there are ways to put it on the fridge. I'm not going to say... There are magnets. They're very rough magnets. They're magnets.
Beautiful. Xalbaer will pin this in a place of honor on the refrigerator and hold his hand out for a high five.
Did you teach Olive how to high five?
I'd hope so. So.
That's all I needed from you, is if you did. So she'll raise up her hand and give you a high five. And she's got a really, really tiny smile on her face.
Perfect. Xalbaer believes in rewarding good actions and getting exasperated with bad ones.
A fridge-worthy picture. Tutu Kid looks at Olive and nods once solemnly, I understand this gesture. I approve.
Xalbaer will turn back to Tutu Kid and be like, the memories come back to you regardless of the need. It's just how long it takes.
So, you're saying that if I just let the cathedral process my memories, it would help the cathedral, and also I would still get my memories back? It would just take a while?
If your memories don't have any help for the cathedral, they will be given back as soon as is possible. Because they have to be... Naomi has a process, so if there's nothing helpful in them...
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Naomi will process them and return them if they're not applicable. If they're helpful, Naomi may need the information from them, but I don't know that they will take too much. We haven't had any helpful memories thus far from our group, so I'm not entirely sure the process. But as far as I know, and the scientists may tell me otherwise, then if they are useful, then Naomi just needs the information from them, and then you can have them back. you'll get them back regardless. Naomi doesn't want those, but
okay.
The information.
So, Tutu Kid you can see like a thought bubble and then like a chain of seven different gears like all grinding together. Like they're really thinking. They're like, so first I gotta get through my room to help process the memories. But then if I went out into the world and found information that's helpful for Gust and then came back, I would still get the memories back, but it would be helpful and thus help Mix Gust return?
If you were to find information that was helpful and return with the information, it would be a different... You would have to come back for it to be useful, and the way that the memories are snagged for processing is a little... It doesn't work every time. So if you had information and you knew it was helpful and you came back to share it, then that would be a little different.
Okay. You guys see the thought bubble, all the gears disappear, and all you see is main mission. Quests activated. And then the thought bubble disappears. Congrats. This is now what Tutu Kid is going to do after they deal with Mr. Grubby and also with the stuff with Shorts Kid. This is now their like goal until things are settled with Gust.
It's been added to the quest book.
Yeah, it's added to the quest book. Okay, so as you guys are doing this conversation, Sirius goes back to helping out Valence, and they stop cooking, and Sirius and Valence both like pick up a plate of the eggs, and the skillet goes into the sink for washing later, and they leave.
They just leave. They're gone. They're done. Too much child. Need a nap to process.
To be honest, Valence is carrying one plate, and Sirius is eating off of the plate that he's carrying.
Oh, that's so cute.
So Valence is probably bringing that plate to Naomi.
Gotcha.
Because, Valence doesn't eat. He doesn't need to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, now that you've got that discussion under your belt, where are you going next?
Okay, so, like, regardless of anything, the next thing we gotta do is I do gotta go through my memory room, right?
Yes. And so do I.
Okay. And I can help you with your memory room, so we should probably go to your memory room first. You don't need to roll insight to see that Tutu Kid is trying to delay the inevitable, but you do have enough respect in their eyes that you could force the issue.
Mm-hmm. Consider, and I will be fine if you would prefer to go through mine first, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Consider your room is a bit of an unknown for us. And you seem... Keep in mind, I am also a little stressed about going into my room, but you also seem a little stressed about going into your room. If we do your room first, you will know exactly what is going on in my room, and it's in a nice, gentle coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You see Tutu Kid sort of like sucking on their lip like that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But also I don't want to go. But then they sort of go, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they, like, kick their foot, like, I don't wanna, but I will. I don't have any good refute to that.
And me and Olive will be right there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Olive have to go through a room too?
No.
Oh. You've already dealt with your demons, huh?
I was born here.
Oh, wow! This is literally new information for Tutu. They had no idea what was up with Naomi. They were just like, fellow kid.
It's not new information because you learned this when you were sitting in the circle. So it's just twice as funny that Tutu Kid's like, wow, Olive was born here.
Tutu Kid has slept since then.
Yes.
Yeah, like the whole processing thing, they are A. It's not as good as you think it'd be.
Okay. So I am the DM and I am being like, okay, let's go.
Let's go!
Let's go.
You've decided on a course of action and Tutu Kid has agreed. Xalbaer, you're leading the way, right?
Yeah. Xalbaer would know relatively where things are better, so.
Mm-hmm. As you walk into the memory room, you catch the remaining, you catch a disappearing form of Dection through the door. And Naomi is standing there, looking over the bottles on the table.
Good
Tutu
morning,
Kid
ma'am.
walks up. Tutu Kid grabs a hold of the skirt, gives a gentle tug.
Naomi just kind of looks down at Tutu Kid and tilts her head to the side.
I think the bottles are really pretty, too. And Tutu Kid sort of, like, gets their arms up so that they're, like, resting on their arms, legs dangling so that they look at the table and sort of, like, swinging their legs like solidarity. Bottles do be really pretty.
Naomi reaches over, picks one up, and offers it to Tutu Kid. You want to see?
Oh! Yeah! Yeah!
Oh no.
Do you select one? Do you take it?
I take the bottle that Naomi hands over to me. Tutu Kid is not going to, like, grab from someone else when one is being offered directly to them.
Okay, so you take this bottle and let's see, 3. You're transported somewhere else, and wait a second. This is familiar to you. That man standing there and smiling at you is so familiar. This is yours. This is your memory. This is your memory of your father and what his face looks like.
Oh.
I literally... And you snap back to yourself, and you're still holding this bottle in your hands. And Naomi is just kind of smiling down at you with all 5 of her eyes.
So it's interesting, because when Tutu Kid touches the bottle, their eyes don't do the blown wide thing. They actually go to, like, slitty slits.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sort of, like, blink back to themselves, and then their eyes go, like, super huge. Like, you can't even see the color of their irises. Their pupils are so big, and, like, there's a little moisture at the end of their eyes, and they're like, do you need
Drink it.
It's okay?
Drink it. Naomi says with a wider smile. Drink it.
Tutu Kid, like,
time.
rips the top off. They are focused and they are quickly getting this done. And they like, if they were old enough to drink, you'd be impressed with how good they handle the shot. They just yeet it back. There is basically no swallowing. It's just in the bottle and then it's out of the bottle in their tum-tum.
And the memory of your father returns to you, and it feels like a warm hug.
Tutu Kid, like, sort of like, they're like so overcome, they literally drop the bottle. I'm sorry, if it shatters, that's okay. But they immediately launch themselves to hug Naomi's leg.
Can Xalbaer make an attempt to catch it?
Yeah, roll me a dexterity save.
Yeah. He would automatically shoot for it.
Mm-hmm. That's good, because Naomi rolled a 2 to catch the bottle.
Oops.
No. Okay.
Yeah, you immediately shoot forward, and you manage to keep it from shattering, although it does crack against the floor.
He made an attempt, and that's all that matters. No one can judge.
Mm-hmm.
No one should ever judge him, ever.
And Olive just kind of walks over and looks down at Xalbaer.
All across the floor. Shoots Olive a thumbs up.
Tutu Kid, they're definitely sniffling at this point, but they're like clung hard onto Naomi's leg, and they're like, they're just really overcome, but they sort of like hear the little crack. So what they do is they really quick, as a cantrip, cast Mending. They sort of like touch the bottle for like half a second, the crack disappears, and then immediately latch back onto Naomi's leg, just like both overcome and also extremely grateful.
I think one of the others is yours too. Do you want that one back as well? I think it's this one. And she reaches out and picks up another one.
Tutu Kid sniffles and nods.
And she hands it to you. And
Tutu Kid gently takes it, this time trying not to break it.
Mm-hmm. This is a vivid memory of where Victoria's domain begins. And the kind of strife there is between Mr. Grabby and Victoria.
Yeah, this one's mine. This one's mine too. Tutu Kid is much more delicate this time as they take the top off, and they do drink it this time rather than just like hurling it back. Mm-hmm. And then they very gently hand it to Mr. Fluffy Pants, who I assume is still like sprawled out on the floor from grabbing the other bottle. They just assume that he wants the bottles, so they just hand it, and then immediately launch back onto Naomi's leg, just sort of like holding really tight and like rubbing their face on the leg just a little bit, like, oh, thank you.
You feel a kind of heavy-ish weight on your head, because Naomi's hands are actually pretty heavy. They're made of bronze! And she goes, "You're okay." They didn't have anything. So I was going to just pour them out like the rest, but you're right here, so...
I'm gonna make sure that I find so much information about Nick's ghost for you guys. You're so nice.
So Bear's gonna get back up off the floor, shaking his head as he does.
free to speed through the processing time and just go to, okay, now we're actually ready to get to the room, because Tutu Kid is going to be a little inconsolable for a while, but they're going to be just fine.
So Naomi does console you by, like, leaning down and just kind of hugging you and gently stroking your hair and going, there.
They are just so thankful and happy, and they're also nice.
And, you're now, standing, in front of the door to Tutu Kid's room. Along the way, Tutu Kid, you found an origami bat on the ground, and written on it was the words in what you're certain is Lincoln's handwriting. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Tutu Kid holds it with solemnness and promise, and very gently holds it to their heart, and then very gently puts it in their hammer space.
Okay, the door is open, and it leads into the Supro forest. Who's going first?
Well, I mean, it's only proper if I go first, right? Because it is my memory, right? And they sort of, like, look to Xalbaer, look to Olive, like, is that right? Am I wrong?
Olive just kind of blinks at you.
Xalbaer will reach his hands out to both, I almost said Snail, to Tutu Kid and Olive, and then, like, nod his head towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you like to hold my hand?
Tutu Kid, nod.
Olive just kind of considers your hand for a moment and then takes it after Tutu Kid does. Like, okay, I guess this is what's happening. Look, Louise said that Olive has no emotion, so...
We're working on it. We'll get there.
Good! You don't have to have emotions to be good. Mm-hmm. And Olive is.
So, you guys walk into the Supro forest, and, so, there's now music in the air, and this is normal for you, Tutu Kid.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there music all the time, everywhere? Wait, that's not normally for you guys?
Yeah, only when I'm doing cool things.
Tutu Kid's been hearing the Castle Oblivion theme song this whole time while being in the Eclipse Cathedral. Anyways, you walk in, and there's music, and it's noticeable, and there's a forest path, and regular things you'd find in the forest. And as you continue walking forward, you hear Tutu Kid, Mr. Grabby arguing with Shorts Kid. Kid, seriously, kid. No, stop! It's dangerous, we don't even know where it came from. What are you doing? And Shorts Kid... I'm investigating it. I can take care of myself. You don't have to help me.
Oh, I know those guys. I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of glad that this is a memory thing invented and not real life, because they do sound pretty angry, and well, let's just go investigate. Tutu Kid, sensing that they're about to reveal something about their past. You know what? Actually, fuck this.
You walk forward into the clearing, and you find Mr. Grabby, like, holding his hat, just kind of staring down at Shorts Kid, like he is on the last, like, fringe of his nerves. And Shorts Kid just, like, stubbornly, hands on their hips, looking up at him like... And they're standing in front of this, really interesting, door, which you've never seen before in the Supro Forest. It's got, like, these intricate, swirling carvings, and it looks really old.
Ooh. Ah. Hi, guys!
And as you shout, they look over at you, and Mr. Grabby immediately goes, Tutu Kid, can you help me tell Shorts Kid that they shouldn't go into the mysterious ruins that just appeared out of absolutely nowhere without, I don't know, some backup with some actual help? And Shorts Kid turns and just kind of smiles and waves. Hey, Tutu.
Hi, Shorts Kid. Mr. Grabby told me to tell you that you shouldn't go into the mysterious ruins that just appeared without some backup.
Shorts Kid gives you this face like, oh no, you just didn't.
That is what Mr. Grabby told me to tell you. So, hey, Mr. Grabby, I told him. Anyway, these are my friends. This is Mr. Fluffy Pants, but you can also call them Xalbaer, and this is Olive. They're kind of like our age. That was directed towards Shorts Kid, Mr. Grabby. They're clearly not yet your age. Maybe Xalbaer is your age. How old are you two?
Mr. Grabby just glowers at that like, oh no.
Xalbaer will kind of lean a little in Tutu Kid's direction and say, well, I'm older than you and younger than Vexus.
I have no idea how old Vexus is. Anyway, how can we help?
As you look back, Shorts Kid seems to be starting to go into the ruins, with Mr. Grabby being like, no, damn it, no.
Okay. Here's what we gotta do. SK, I need you to come over here and hold my hand. And they like hold their hand out like grabby.
SK stops and looks up at Mr. Grabby and then looks over at you, Tutu Kid, and just does this kind of irritated
Come on. I know you love holding hands.
If I hold your hand, can we go in the ruins?
They're right there. I know, they're right there. And we want to go in so bad! But first, you gotta hold my hand just long enough that we can figure out what we're doing. And then we can do the doing. Okay? That's why you gotta hold my hand. Tutu Kid, like, flutters their eyelashes.
Roll me persuasion.
I sure will.
Because you know how stubborn Shorts Kid is.
Oh, yes, I know this for a fact. Oh, that's only a 14. It's like a little convincing.
Yeah, actually, that's more than average. And Short's kid just kind of goes, and they point up at Mr. Grabby and saying, "You're not telling the engineer about this." And Mr. Grabby's just like fuming as Short's kid turns around and walks over to you and takes your hand and then points at the ruins and goes, they just appeared here out of nowhere, and when they did, admittedly, magic stopped working, but it's gotta be because of those ruins, right?
Okay, so, like, all of your magic stopped working? Or just, like, space-time magic?
Well, so they start pulling things out of their pockets. To prove that not all of the magic is gone, because they can still pull things out of their pockets. The 7. They pull out their key staff. And they pull... I'm just gonna say they pull everything out off of that 7. They pull out some snacks. They pull out a little cage with a stuffed bird in it.
Yeah. I know the bird. They're my friend.
They pull out sticks and stones. They pull out a shell from like a beach. Not everything, but and they put most of the stuff except for the key staff back in, and they wave the key staff around and nothing happens.
Okay, so it's not like all magic is gone, but you can't do spells?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Grabby, can I also have your hand, please, and thank you? Another eyelash fluttering, hand extended out. You know you can't resist me.
So, did you let go of Xalbaer's head, or did you grow another head?
They're holding out their hand with Xalbaer's thumb, like, still hooked on their hand.
Mr. Grabby is just like...
his hand, they will not argue, but they are not letting go of the handshake of themselves.
Yeah, Mr. Grabby just folds his arms over, and he curls over and narrows his eyes and goes, it's dangerous in there because we don't know what's in there, and you're going to go in there, aren't you?
Well, I can go in there with your help, or I could sneak around your back and go in there without your help. So, yes, but I want your help.
He just kind of glowers. And he steps aside and opens the door, and then he continues to keep his arms crossed. He's opening the door to the ruins with, like, his shoulder, and he's standing there, well, floating there.
Mr. Grabby, with a 15, they say, please.
You can go in, but I'm not following you.
I don't need you.
My magic.
I don't need you to follow me. I need you to hold my hand. Blink,
no.
blink, 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 blink. Please.
He just kind of... And he turns around, he starts flying away. And the door starts to close.
Okay, wait, this is supposed to be like a puzzle about me resolving things, so do I have to go back behind Mr. Grabby, or do I have to go into the room because the room is a puzzle? Xalbaer, Olive, feel free to chip in because Tutu Kid is currently frozen in trying to consider which kind of puzzle it is.
Olive is
Xalbaer.
just gonna look and not do anything. Go ahead, Altaria.
Yeah, Xalbaer's hands are currently occupied because originally I was going to be like, he's going to put a hand on top of Tutu's head, but he will instead very gently squish Tutu Kid's hand where he's holding it and say, why don't we start with the puzzle first? I doubt anyone can go too far, so we can track down Mr. Krabby if it's necessary.
Okay, yeah, let's go! Tutu Kid immediately, does that sort of, toonish running thing where, their legs sort of, start up first and then the rest of them follows and their hands are trailing back holding Xalbaer and Short's Kid's hand. And also, looking back at Olive, come with!
Olive is still holding on to Xalbaer's hand and thus is being pulled along.
Excellent.
So you guys walk into this room, and the room beyond isn't... The ruins aren't as big as you expected them to be. It's one room, and there's to Xalbaer, a familiar... Actually, to Tutu Kid too, there is a familiar white door which leads out. And this room is full of faded red buttons, and they're all on pedestals on the walls, all over false doors that look like they should lead somewhere but are actually blocked off. They're all over the walls.
Tutu Kid's eyes go silly mode.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of buttons. Xalbaer's eyes, you know when cats get the zoomies?
Yes.
Same hat.
So both Tutu Kid and Xalbaer get zoomy eyes.
Yes! And Short's Kid lets go of Tutu Kid's hand and goes, wow, so this is what it's inside. And they pull out a notebook and start writing notes and walks over to one of the pedestals and just looking at it.
Okay, real quick, before we touch anything, are there any signs of what we should touch, aside from the fact that they're all red buttons? No, wait, are there any words or pictures?
Roll me
Tutu Kid
perception.
is actually vibrating.
Xalbaer would also be looking for any kind of clues.
Yeah, both of you roll me perception.
He's gonna look at the tall ones especially, but all over. Investigation?
Perception.
Perception. I heard that. And
yeah, you're looking for words. So, Xalbaer, you find the words before Tutu Kid does, but you both see them. They're on the white door, and what it says is, I will only open should you press the right button.
Okay.
I will only open should you press the right button.
is there a button to the right of the door?
Yes. There are many. There are many faded red buttons to the right of the door.
Okay, Xalbaer, you press the button that is closest to the right of the door. I'm gonna press the button that is on the rightest side of the room. And we're gonna see if either of those buttons work.
It doesn't say that hitting the wrong button will have consequences, only that it won't open unless we hit the correct button, the right button.
Okay, Tutu Kid runs over to, like, so if the room is a circle, they run to, like, the diameter right side of the circle. If the room is a square, they run to, like, the center of the wall. They look at whatever button seems like it's the most right, and then they just slam their hand on it. They can't hold themselves back anymore. They can't.
Okay, roll me a d20 for that, and it is a square. The room is a square.
I got an 8.
So you slam the button, and you hear... That's all that happens.
Oh my god!
The zoomy eyes, if possible, get even wider.
Okay. Xalbaer's turn. Which button are you going to select?
Having seen that, Xalbaer will be a little more cautious, be like, oh, my actions may in fact have consequences. He will leave Olive more towards the door they came in, and then go over and hit the button that is closest to the right of the outdoor.
Okay, roll me a d20.
Yep.
14.
Meow. Is what comes out.
His ears will flick. Well, his ears will twitch a little bit. He was not a fan of that one, but he'll accept it.
Tutu Kid.
Tutu Kid runs over to the, Okay, did Xalbaer hit the button closest to the exit door or the entrance door?
He hit the one closest to the door they're trying to leave through.
Okay, Tutu Kid goes to the door that they came from and hits the button that is closest to the right of that door.
Roll a d20.
A 6. Tutu's hair is full Ghibli mode, by the way. Eyes full silly mode. They are so stimulated. This is entertainment.
How tall would you say the room is?
So it ends, like, if you reached up, you could definitely touch the ceiling because you're tall.
Mm-hmm.
That's how tall it is.
Are there any on the ceiling?
There are a few on the ceiling.
Xalbaer will point to the one closest to the door they want to leave through and, like, hold his hands out like he's offering to pick Tutu Kid up to have Tutu Kid hit the button on the ceiling.
Tutu Kid launches themselves at Xalbaer. What do you think they're gonna do? Say no?
He'll hold them up, hit the button.
Roll a
Let me
d20.
guess, D20?
Yeah.
A 10!
Let's see. It sounds like a huge windstorm just passed by.
Okay, Mr. Xalbaer, I have a very important question for you. After we process the rooms, do the rooms go away, or can we come back and just press buttons after we get out?
After the person whose room it is goes through and solves it, the room goes away. So we're going to have to hit every single button in this room.
I'm so glad you think like I do! Tutu Kid runs over to a random pedestal and slams on a button.
Roll a d20.
Okay, good to know that none of the pedestals actually have any effect.
So you slam your hand on the button and you're a click click. Near Xalbaer, you hear it more clearly because you're near the door.
Okay, but what if we hit another button and see if it locks again? Keep that one in mind, but...
Go press another pedestal button. Maybe we have to press all the pedestals, which means that then we would still have 2 more pedestals that we had to press while we pressed all the other buttons.
As you're discussing this, Olive walks over to a button and presses it. You guys hear a crackle.
Hit that one again.
I love that button.
No, seriously. Olive, you want to hit that one again? See what it does? We haven't hit them twice.
Olive hit it again.
Yeah!
I am so glad that we have finally gotten deep enough that we can discover that Tutu Kid is Xalbaer, just younger.
I know.
So do you like the soundboard room, guys?
Yes.
Tutu Kid does. Okay. But is the door that goes back to Mr. Grabby closed?
Xalbaer will walk over and attempt to open it. Oh wait, the other door. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, you open the door easily. You can see outside, Mr. Grabby is pacing back and forth, fuming.
Xalbaer will wave and shut the door.
Okay, I might know what we gotta do. So, Mr. Xalbaer, I'm gonna need you to have so much fun for me. I'm gonna need you to go to the walls and just like run your hand along every button that you can touch in a single go and just make all of the noise that you can. I think I gotta go out there because I gotta do the emotions thing because I think I know how this puzzle works.
Okay. I believe I can do this mission. Would you like to see if the outdoor opened first and avoid the emotions thing, or would you like to have the emotions thing first?
Tutu Kid, like, you can see their shoulders sort of slump and they look like really longingly at the door. But then they sort of shake their head like, no, I gotta have my vegetables before I get my dessert. Sort of thing, like, I know I gotta do this, so if there was the chance to leave, it wouldn't be as good as if I did the stupid emotions thing. I gotta go do the thing.
And as you're having this conversation, you hear... As
yes! Olive! Go crazy! Go feral!
Because Olive pressed another button.
Amazing.
So, Tutu Kid, like, grabs at Shorts Kid's jacket, which is either on their shoulders or around their waist. Whichever way it is, they sort of, like, tug at it. So either they're, like, tugging at the shoulder, or they're literally, like, taking the jacket that's, like, around their waist and doing a little tug-tug.
Oh, hey, Tutu Kid.
Hi. So, how much do you know about the things and the stuff before you got to this place, and met Mr. Grabby?
Well, I think we were at some kind of camp.
Okay. I promise I'm gonna catch up with you later, okay? I got a couple things I need to do, and, like, it's not the you I should be saying this to. It's the you, but you're the you that's here. So I gotta say, I am gonna figure this out, okay?
Okay. I'll see you later, I guess.
Do you want to press a button first?
They look at you and they smirk and they reach up and they press the button of the pedestal that they were like examining. I'm gonna roll again because that's not a noise. I think that's a creepy noise.
Dude, it's like, okay, go ahead and stay put for just a bit. If you want to talk with my friends, you can talk with my friends. I'm gonna be back.
Yeah. Go talk with Mr. Grumpy Pants.
He is kind of grumpy, isn't he? Okay, but for real, I'll be back. Tutu Kid sort of like opens up the door and closes the door. Before this happens, does anybody want to have more noise hijinks? Because I encourage it.
Xalbaer will nod solemnly as Tutu Kid goes through the door and slam his hand down on a button in their honor.
D20. See.
Properly solemn. Alright.
And then there's a fart noise. As Olive clicks one of the buttons.
Okay, that's valid. Xalbaer will ask for a high five again.
And Tutu Kid, you watch Olive high five Xalbaer as the door closes. And you're now outside again, and Mr. Grabby has paused in his pacing to, like, kind of look down at you.
Hi, Mr. Grabby. So you remember how I was really insistent on not doing the thing that I was avoiding when I first met you, and I was really determined not to do the thing?
You're gonna have to refresh me real quick, because I don't remember.
Yeah, so the thing about talking to your good buddy, the engineer, and figuring things out with Shorts Kid, that thing?
Yes.
I did already talk to the engineer. I might have tried to boink him first, but it was fine. I will emphasize that it was fine. And I know I gotta talk to Shorts Kid now. I did go on a little adventure to make some friends, and they're super friends, but not like my super friend that gives me powers, which is like, you're that super friend. But I did make some other super friends, and it made me realize that I did miss the super friend that I came to Inqua with. So you don't have to worry that I'll keep avoiding it forever. I'm gonna do the thing.
And his posture had been kind of all crumpled and, you know, in that kind of body language of I'm irritated and angry that no one is listening to me sort of deal. It loosens up a little bit as you say that. Finally.
Yeah, I'm known to be a little stubborn.
Oh, I've noticed.
I just wanted to make sure that again, this is the you that's here, not the you that I need to say it to, but I gotta practice with the you that's here, because you're the you that's in my thoughts, which means that if I'm thinking about it, I'm doing the thing where I'm gonna say it right the second time. I didn't want you to think that because I'm figuring out this thing with Shorts Kid where I was angry. I didn't want you to think that you have to do the same thing with the mean witch, because they tried to hurt you, and I think I finally figured out that Shorts Kid wasn't trying to hurt me, but the mean witch that originally gave me powers was really trying to hurt you, and so you don't have to do the forgiveness thing with them just because I'm doing the forgiveness thing with Shorts Kid and the talking it out. We can kick her butt, and we're gonna.
He just kind of smirks, and he drifts over to you, and one of his hands drops on top of your head and really, really messily messes up your hair. Not that it wasn't already messed up.
I'm trying to be nice and you're the worst! Okay, can you... Tutu is like fully grinning. They're like, can you please come into the other room with me, because it's super duper fun and it hasn't hurt me, and if it tries to hurt you, then I'll beat it up, and if it tries to hurt me with you in the room, I know that you'll beat him up, and I think I know how the puzzle works.
Alright, kid, just don't forget to come talk to me about this later. Alright?
Yeah, I promise. And like the smile that's on Tutu's kid's face is a lot smaller, but it's just as genuine. They mean this promise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got Mr. Grabby. I think we can fix the puzzle. Please insert sound effect here.
Roll a d20, Altaria.
Yes. Where am I? Here I am.
Let's see.
15.
There's a sound.
He's gonna start to hiss back and then catch himself. And like straighten up like, oh, didn't mean to do that.
It's okay, Mr. Fluffy Pants. Don't worry. It can't hurt you. I won't let it. If it does, I'll beat him up.
He'll nod like that hit something in him. He's like, I appreciate the 7-year-old willing to go to war for me. Olive's the 5-year-old. Olive has already threatened to murder several people. He knows that one would.
Olive immediately pressing a button. See, that's a 6.
Okay, question. Are there enough pedestals for everybody in the room, or are there enough pedestals for Tutu, Shorts Kid, and Grabby?
There are enough pedestals for more than... There is one more pedestal than there are people in the room.
Okay. Are there any 2 pedestals that are close enough that Mr. Grabby could press 2 of them at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, I need everybody to go find a pedestal, and we're all gonna press the buttons together, because either all the buttons on the pedestals pressed together will unlock the door, or one of them will unlock the door, and we'll get a bunch of fun noises at the same time.
See, I'm rolling 3 d20s, right? No, 4.
Yes!
I am rolling 4 d20s. You guys each roll a d20 as everyone...
Amazing. No.
So, Xalbaer, you press your button and it goes... Fart noise.
Amazing.
And Tutu Kid, you press your button and it goes... Olive presses their button and it goes... I can't do fart noise.
There you go.
I had to actually use just my lips and not my hands. Mr. Grabby's buttons sound like rain and animal noise. And as you hear the eeing sound on your shoulder, Bit goes eek! And it just kind of flaps their wings. And Shorts Kid presses the pedestal, and it goes, It's an animal noise that I came with
Yes.
on the spot.
Listen, elephant, man.
No, there was an elephant earlier. That was more of it's like an elk.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I was wrong. You were right.
Anyways, yeah, that's what happened.
So wait, none of them make the door go click?
No.
Okay, we gotta try it one more time, but this time, Mr. Grabby, take one button, and Bit, you take the other button. Feel free to say it works or there's a lot of noise. I won't make you go through all of the noises again if you don't want to.
Okay, roll d20.
Oh, we doing this.
Tutu Kid, you press the button and it goes woo. I like making the noises. Bit lands on one of the buttons and it goes fart noise. Mr. Grabby hits another button and it goes
Yes!
Olive hits a button and it goes like a rain shower. Did I do everyone? Is that everyone on mine? It shouldn't be. Did I say Shorts Kid?
No.
Shorts Kid hits their button and you hear a click click.
Oh, hey.
Okay. Mr. Xalbaer, you should try the door because I'm not if I can stay in the button room then I will, but we probably do have to go.
Xalbaer will nod and walk over and try the door handle.
It's open.
Okay.
One more.
One more? You want to click one more?
One more for the road.
But keep the door open. Make sure that you keep the door open.
Oh, wait. Maybe not one more for the road.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, one more for the road.
You know we gotta get one more for the road.
Foot in the door.
Xalbaer, you click a button, and there's a it's an animal noise.
That's one for the road.
As presumably Olive and Bit and Xalbaer go through the door, Tutu Kid really quick takes a moment and like launches themselves at Shorts Kid and Grabby so that like Grabby's hugged in one arm and Shorts Kid is hugged in the other, and they're like, I made my promises and I'm gonna keep my promises, okay? It's gonna be just fine.
Mr. Grabby just kind of grumbled, you better. And Shorts Kid just kind of I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Okay, now play nice. I gotta go through the door, but I'm gonna come back to both of you.
Only if Mr. Grabby, doesn't try to, unnecessarily prevent me from exploring places. Mr. Grabby's like, I promised the engineer I'd keep you safe. Don't be...
Tutu Kid is very slowly walking backwards, if they keep arguing like this, they won't notice I'm gone.
Yeah. You walk backwards through the door, and as you step through the door, they're gone. They're no longer there.
Okay, I think you can close the door.
Xalbaer will let the door close.
You guys didn't tell me that this would be fun. I thought this was gonna be, weird and hard and stuff. Decimal's room sure made it seem like it was gonna be a grumpy fest.
To be fair, in one of these rooms I was bit, so...
Who would bite you?
Okay, we're gonna go to break. Because I need a break. And it's a little past an hour and a half. Yeah, it's a little past an hour and a half going on 2. So, break time!
Break time!
I love you guys so much.
This was good. We're doing great.
We are winning.
We are.
People asked, are you winning? People ask, are you winning? And for once we can say, yes, we are winning. We pressed so many noise buttons.
So, I do want to say for the record that there is actually a greenhouse in the Eclipse Cathedral. Fun fact.
Hello!
Hello!
I love this game. I love you guys so much.
So much fun. I'm so glad you liked my soundboard room. I hope I did good as Mr. Grabby and as Short's kid. It's been a long time coming.
You are freaking awesome. I'm literally gonna, like, when this episode is processed, send it over to Kai and Owl and be like, you don't have to listen to this, but it was incredible and hilarious.
I'm so glad. Ah. Yeah, it only took 1.5 years to finally get into Tutu Kid's room. Literally.
It was good! But it was also good that, like, when Tutu Kid first came into the Eclipse Cathedral, they had a lot of unresolved stuff. And then through the Eclipse Cathedral, they finally got enough processing and bonding and stuff to go, okay, I do need to resolve this. It's a good capper to how it was good. It's a good game, and everybody should be in the Eclipse Cathedral. No, please, don't hurt Heart like that. Don't hurt Heart like that. But if you can worm yourself into the Eclipse Cathedral, definitely do it. Just don't overwhelm Heart. Here I am like a radio ad. Fuck you! Puts you in the Eclipse Cathedral! Oh, good. Golly, I love you guys so much.
By the way, when the first click, it was open, and it was open that whole stretch of time.
Excellent.
Even if you had let the door close, it would still be open.
Excellent. Does that mean that the other click was literally just a clicking noise, not the door getting up?
Yeah, it was a clicking noise.
Incredible. Flawless. Unbeatable.
We really didn't try the door handle at any point.
No, you didn't. I gave you a room full of buttons, and you were like, yes, let's press all of them. And I'm like, yes, do it!
Yeah.
I need to get more water. My
Please
hubris has
do
come
not
to me.
dehydrate yourself.
I was like, when we enter the room, we should probably, check the door and stuff, and then it's like, oh, soundboard. Oh, we're gonna hit every single button. It didn't tell us we couldn't.
If, adverse effects had started happening, maybe we would have been more cautious. But the room was a giant soundboard. Why would we go for the door when we could have emotional processing and a soundboard?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the point was not to teach you not to be wary. The point was not to teach you to be wary of buttons. The point was to have fun with sounds.
Yes.
Because this is
The
a
point
room
was
for an
silly
8-year-old.
Yeah.
The point was silly eyes button time.
Yes.
Button time.
With a side of emotional growth.
Exactly. And Xalbaer's gonna go have coffee and emotions. He's not had those in a while. Be good.
Okay, so now you gotta do... Okay. Ready? You ready?
I think so. What is it? Yeah, we're ready.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are now on the 9th floor.
Nice.
That was my
Because he's a
transition
cat?
noise.
Is it because Xalbaer's a cat? 9 lives.
No, it's because it moved to there, but... Wait.
You could have taken credit for that. You could have taken credit for that.
It's not on the 9th floor. It's actually on the 7th floor. Sorry about that. It was. It was on the 9th floor because that's where you opened it.
Fair.
Oh my stars.
But
You
it's
could have
not
just kept
anymore.
it there.
No.
Continuity error.
No. I set a precedent for how this works, and I'm going to keep to it. It's on the 7th floor. So you guys go from the 9th, which was the Supro floor, to the 7th.
You lost 2 lives just like that.
Anyways,
cell.
you're now standing before the door, and it is open, and through it, you can see Albin and Bernard talking quietly, sitting at a table. Bernard every so often looks over his shoulder to look at the very empty, counter where people who work there are supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Looking through, you can see the murals on the wall have not changed. They still look like events that you have lived through, Xalbaer.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen these before too, Tutu Kid.
Yeah, well, yes, because I was in this room.
Mm-hmm.
I came back!
So as you walk in and say that, Albin looks over with this kind of puzzled look on his face. Hello there. Where's your parents? Where's your older brothers?
They needed to do an errand real quick, but I found Xalbaer for you, so I thought that I should bring him to you first.
Xalbaer is going to come in at behind them and stuff, and he probably took Olive's hand before they went through the doorway, and brought it is bringing Olive along, and then we'll plop Olive in. You said they're in a booth.
They're sitting at a table. There are various small round tables placed
Mm-hmm.
artistically around the place. Albin is loafing on this kind of long seat.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernard's sitting in a very nicely made metal chair.
Mm-hmm.
Albin looks up to you and then smiles down at Tutu Kid and says, "Thank you. It was
You're
very
welcome.
nice
I
of
remember.
you."
I remembered that we asked a lot of questions because we wanted to find him, and you guys wanted to see him too. Xalbaer, they were really excited to see you. They wanted to make sure that they could see you.
Gotcha. Xalbaer is going to be a little focused and put Olive in a chair at the table with Albin and Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
And then like gesture for Tutu Kid to also join them in a chair at the table.
Tutu Kid like holds Olive's hand and like make sure that Olive has a chair, and then when there is another chair sits, but they want to make sure that Olive has a chair because they are perfectly fine with sitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another chair, so they like crisscross applesauce on the chair, and then sort of like put their elbows on the table and their head on their hands, and sort of like look at Xalbaer like, okay, it's bonding time.
Xalbaer has gotten his kittens where he wants them and is going to nod and go back behind the counter and start making coffee because that man has not had coffee today.
Yep. And the devices back here are ones you recognize.
Oh, thank God.
Of course! This is Xalbaer's room. It's stuff from Exandria, or rather, the version of Exandria I've been playing with, which is much, much further in technological advancements than the one from Critical Role.
Growing up, he spent a lot of time here. He knows the machines. He's good.
He knows the machines. He knows where to find the pigeon milk.
Mm-hmm.
And you look, and there is pigeon milk here.
Yes. Love it. We're winning. He's going to make his drink exactly how he likes it, and then start in on the other drinks.
Mm-hmm. And, Bernard is just gonna kind of look at Albin and then look at Tutu Kid and Olive and go, so, have you enjoyed your time here in Nicodranus?
I've enjoyed my time so much. It's been so nice. It's almost like the building was alive and specifically trying to help us. And then Tutu Kid like looks at the nearest wall and winks loudly.
And
like,
Bernard...
I love you, Eclipse Cathedral, and I'm gonna be so overt about this.
Bernard just kind of goes, okay.
And it's been so nice because Olive was born around here. Another big wink. So it's been nice seeing all the stuff that Olive gets to do and making a new friend that's my age and hanging out with Mr. Fluffy Pants. I mean Xalbaer. Well, I call him Mr. Fluffy Pants, but you can't tell him that I told you that because he's gonna get real embarrassed.
He's looking up at the ceiling as he hears this. Like, oh, why?
And Bernard is just, like, slowly nodding, like... Tutu Kid, you get the feeling that Bernard is actually used to entertaining children at least a little bit. So he's paying extreme attention to you. And everything you are saying, even if he doesn't believe a lick of it. Because you're saying some really weird stuff, but, you know, you're a child. That's probably par for the course.
Oh, yeah, totally. What are your favorite things about hanging out with Xalbaer, because I know you gotta like hanging out with Xalbaer. They definitely like hanging out with you, and you should visit them some more, Xalbaer, is something that you would say.
He has paused to put his face in his hand and starts drinking some of his coffee before going back to making the other coffee. Nope.
Bernard just kind of, I really enjoy talking with him about the research that we each individually do. Space travel is very interesting, but I'm more concerned with what's the world around us.
Heck yeah, space.
I mean, it's gotta be interesting, like, comparing the stuff that happens with space and comparing the stuff that happens around us, and there's a lot that you can learn if you put the two together. I would assume if I was from space.
Wait. Tutu Kid. So Xalbaer has completely paused. He's turned. He's like, hold up here. I've done the math. I've connected the dots. Tutu Kid.
Yes.
You're from space?
Tutu Kid, like, looks at the people at the table, hops down, goes over to the couch, and then, like, whispers, yes! Because they don't want the memories to know, because the memories don't know that space travel is possible yet!
You see a moment of his face where it's like Xalbaer.exe has frozen, and then he just starts nodding like, yeah, okay, a lot of things make a lot more sense now. And he'll reach over and pat Tutu Kid on the top of the head and gesture back to the table like, yep, okay.
After we leave this room, since they're not supposed to know about the space travel stuff, if you want, you can ask me questions. I might not be able to answer all of them, but I can definitely answer some of them.
That sounds like a plan, Tutu Kid.
Okay, great.
In which this team composition is perfect, actually.
You would have sworn that we did this on purpose, and we didn't, but it's even better because of that. Tutu Kid, like, hops back over to the table and like hops back on the seat and sort of like reaches out for Olive's hand, just like, I want to hold hands, but just because. Like, if Olive doesn't want to, Tutu Kid won't be slighted in the slightest.
Olive just kind of looks at your hand, looks at you, takes your hand. She's just kind of looking at you like, I don't know why, but okay.
Tutu Kid is now beaming. Just like, yes! Hand holding! You know, I heard that Olive has spent a lot of time with Xalbaer. So Olive, what's Xalbaer getting up to these days since he's so busy with making us the nice drinks?
Xalbaer has started getting out the decaf. So, and like making little tiny cups for the kids. He's testing a theory. He's not that invested in caffeinating the
Olive thinks for a moment, and then Olive says, playing with the hair?
Yes, he's so fuzzy. I know that you guys know this, but he's extremely fuzzy.
He used to be really large.
even taller than he is now?
Yes.
Now, Tutu Kid is the woman that is, like, not processing, because, like, Xalbaer's so big. How could he be bigger than big?
You're misunderstanding. So it's the hair that used to be big.
Oh. Well, here's the thing. You're gonna have to take... Tutu Kid thought that Xalbaer was bigger than big. Definitely not me. I was definitely playing into the fact that it was an 8-year-old. Totally.
I'm doing great.
Tutu Kid is processing.
Just like staring at the floor like that one Tails meme that everybody knows. Just like...
Xalbaer, you finish up with the decaf coffees. Now you have a full tray of coffee to deliver.
He'll be. He would have cleaned up as he went and afterwards and gone, I can't procrastinate any longer, and picked up the tray and brought it over and started handing out drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd have loafed next to probably Olive, and whoever Olive is next to.
Albin.
Perfect. Cool. Okay. Yep. Flop
Your
right
father.
down.
Flop right next to your father.
You know what? He's gonna take a little bit of comfort where he can get it. Sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll a con save to see if Olive likes the coffee. Oh, that's a 2 plus 1. So
Oof.
Olive takes a sip and then goes bleh and spills it back out into the cup.
Oh my god.
Tutu Kid loves the coffee.
For everybody who's listening in the future, that was a nat 20 with my, in addition to the fact that Tutu Kid has a +4, which is just sort of high for a save. So Tutu Kid, like, takes their coffee and, like, sippy sip, and then their eyes go full silly mode, and Olive goes like, bleh, and Tutu Kid just, like, immediately holds a hand out for Olive's coffee, spit and all, just like, this is so good, I will take any form that means that I can make more of it.
Yeah, Olive gratefully passes it over to you. And Bernard and Albin are just quietly drinking their coffee for a moment. Although Albin is looking at you.
Xalbaer's making nervous sippies.
And Albin finishes taking like a long... It's like one of those... He's taking a long sip to punctuate the emotion on his face.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of sips. And then he places the coffee down and he goes, Bernard, do you possibly occupy the children over there by one of the murals? Bernard's like, yeah, hey kids, I have some coloring books from the museum. You want to come over here with me and just color on them? Bernard says as he just kind of hurriedly gets up and like shuffles around in his pack and pulls out like actually a single coloring book.
Tutu Kid is immediately like, I love coloring! Immediately wandered away.
Mm-hmm. And Olive just kind of wanders after Tutu Kid, and Beck goes, eat, eat, and just kind of nuzzles against Tutu Kid's face. Just to remind you, Bit is here and is watching everything.
Yeah. Tutu Kid is nuzzling right back along into Bit, and like they offer some of the very nice decaf coffee that they love so much.
Bit just kind of leans away from it. Bit does not like coffee.
Understandable. Have a nice day. More for me!
So as the children are all pulled away from the table, Alvin takes another sip from the coffee.
Xalbaer is also sipping.
So, Bear, what happened?
Which part?
I didn't actually catch that.
Oh, I did a big breath in, I done blew it right back out and said, which part?
Well, perhaps you could talk about when you disappeared.
How long ago was that for you?
5 years.
Okay, so the math works out there. Awesome. Good to know. Well, you know my work. Turns out my boss does not believe in things like unions and OSHA and employee safety, and I'm not sure what all's covered under the something happened, and I'm trying. You know what? Actually, what's he gonna do? There was an explosion. Some stuff happened. May or may not be getting better from it. Working on it. Yeah. And so we are currently on a quest to figure out how to fix what Zaya broke, essentially. At least I am. I don't know about the rest of them. They could have their own goals and missions, but my main priority is fix what Zaya broke, and, you know. Wait, did I do my math wrong?
He lifts up one hand and places it on your shoulder. Was it worth it?
Parts of it were worth it, or have become worth it over time. Parts of it were just stupid. But I think where we are at now, we are in a good position and learning and moving forward. So parts of it I don't regret. Some of it was probably not worth it, but at the time there was no way to know that it wouldn't be worth it. There was a bit of unforeseen consequences.
Just kind of closes his eyes for a moment and slowly nods his head, like Yeah, he understands that.
Not gonna say that, actually. I was gonna say something, and I was like, nope.
So, Bear, when are you coming back?
Great question. I don't know. That's part of the fixing what was broken part. Part of the leaving was the potential. And then we landed, and it was fact of the not coming back as soon as we had planned, or as far as I knew we had planned. And it's a work in progress. We are trying, but we don't know. We also don't know how much time has passed on either side of the divide.
Klaus misses you.
I miss him too.
Miss you.
I miss all of you. Like, it was one of those paths where actions were taken that lead you down it, and by the time you realize you've gone not where you set out to be, it's too late to go back, and you just move forward. If there is a path back to see you and everyone, or if there is a path to at least like either back or to see everyone, then that would be a definite goal. But that is one of the regrets.
His hand kind of slips around your shoulders, and he pulls you half into a hug.
Xalbaer will return the hug. He's going through it. He brought the kids to avoid this kind of emotion, and look at him. You fucked up a perfectly good darkness-eaten man. He has emotions now.
What did you think the children would do?
Help him avoid emotions. He's allergic, guys. He's gonna start sneezing any minute.
No.
Kids are very not good at making people avoid emotions.
And as he's like hugging you, he just kind of bonks his head against yours. Bonk.
Bonk.
I know you're strong enough for this. But as soon as you get back, come find me, okay?
Honestly, that would be my first stop. Fuck the rest of them. If we land, we going. But it will be.
He's gonna hug you for a little bit, and then he's gonna release you and finish off his coffee.
Nope, Xalbaer's finishing it too. He's got to deal with the chaos some more.
I feel like Tutu gets a little bit of it. Not all of it.
Does Tutu Kid get enough of it to add a new mission objective to help Xalbaer get back home?
Yes. Definitely. And I feel like I feel like Tutu Kid, even with being 8, Tutu Kid probably knows more about Spelljammers than freaking Isaac does.
I mean,
Because Isaac's never seen one before, and Tutu Kid has.
Oh, you know they have.
Oh yeah. It's the D&D spaceship. Of course Tutu Kid's seen one. Anyways, Bernard, sensing that everything is all finished, compliments both Tutu Kid and Olive's attempts at coloring the coloring book before returning and picking up his own coffee, which he'd left at the table.
Xalbaer will nod at Bernard as he comes back.
Bernard smiles and takes a big gulp of the coffee. Actually, Bernard downs the coffee.
Hell yeah. Trusted me with that one. Trusted his ability to make coffee and not sneak something in. Definitely hasn't happened before. Nope.
I mean, it has happened before, but
yeah, not this time. He was nice this time.
Bernard still trusts you to make a cup of coffee better than he can.
Okay, that's fair. That's entirely fair. Bernard has low standards.
Bernard has low standards. He places the cup down and he goes, Xalbaer, your friends are, they've come around, looking for you once or twice. The car's fine. The car is fine.
What do you mean the car is fine? Is the car put in a position to not be fine?
It's fine. I promise. Bernard
Somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble.
No, they fixed it up. It's fine. It's fine.
Where takes a big drink of his coffee.
You don't know. You're realizing halfway through your drink of coffee that, yeah, it tastes exactly like the coffee, but also you're realizing these people aren't real. This is a projection of the cathedral. Your car is probably fine.
I thought you were going to say your car is probably not fine, and I was like, no!
You're not sure. You don't know. It's been 5 years, and you don't know what your friends have done with the car.
My baby! They wrecked it. How dare. Yeah, that's fair.
But Bernard shakily doesn't really shake. Okay, Bernard is jittery now because he's had coffee. And he's just like, I've been, a lot of people have, turned my attention to some interesting, pieces of research, but, it's not the same without you around.
Is Celeste chop liver?
Celeste is, hasn't visited in a while. She's, a little upset with me.
Does she have good cause to be?
I may have spent, a whole week, just doing research and not sleeping.
Am I 80% of your impulse control? I go away for a bit, and you're doing this?
Bernard is just kind of like twittering and adjusting his glasses and not looking at you.
What?
You know how I get. Albin is just like, just kind of like, tired look at Bernard. Bernard's just like, maybe we talk about that later when you come back.
Yeah. But I won't forget this.
So what do you wanna do?
Okay, Heart, remind me. Or Snail, either of you. Last time it was they made the coffee and then they went out the door, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a door behind the counter and through it into like the back room, which you walked back there while you were gathering stuff to make coffee, and you saw the white door back there.
Okay.
I'm helping.
You are. Being very helpful. What is Tutu Kid doing right now? This is Xalbaer would check on what everybody's doing.
Tutu Kid is literally sitting at the table. They have their hands like interlaced and their elbows propped up, and they're literally just looking between all of the adults like, this is some really juicy tea, and they don't even know what tea is, but they are still sipping Olive's cup of coffee, just like...
And Olive has approached Bernard with a colored picture and has hold it up to Bernard going, picture. And Bernard goes, oh, that's really good job. Good job. That's what Olive's doing.
You think Tutu Kid is gonna help?
Okay, I mean, like, originally I did, but now I'm realizing there is no help from any quarter. So... don't know, what would he do? All of the ducks are in a row. Is everyone done with their coffee? He would probably see that and pop up. He's done his emotions for the day.
Emotion time is over.
Yeah, no more of that, please. So he's gonna bust the table.
Yeah, Albin, before you move away from the table, just kind of pats you on the back.
Aww.
Okay. He would nod at Albin. He needed that. And when he goes back to the kitchen to bring the cups back, he's going to check if the door is still locked.
Yeah, you open the door and it's open.
Okay. He'll gently shut it and go back to the table and not sit down, but address the whole table. Like, I think it's about time we get going for now.
Bernard looks a little crestfallen, but just, yeah, I thought you would say that. And Albin nods solemnly. Olive goes, okay, and puts the picture book down and then walks over to you.
We've got to figure out where groceries are going to come from and figure out what the scientists have been up to and make sure no one has burned anything down just yet.
They can do so later, just not right now.
Correct. Wait until Vexus is in charge.
Albin smokes.
And then we can burn things.
Yeah.
Tell Vexus I said hi.
I will. Vexus is about as cranky as usual, but making progress in the realm of science. So.
Okay.
Xalbaer's gonna
Before we go, I gotta tell you that Xalbaer loves you very, very much, and Xalbaer, you gotta know that everybody else loves you very, very much. Okay, I told my secrets now. Bye!
Olive goes, bye.
Xalbaer's got a confused look on his face, like, well, yeah, but also why? You know what?
Alvin just chuckles.
Tutu Kid thought it was a secret, but they had to tell, so...
So Tutu Kid gets out of the chair and walks over to Xalbaer too?
Oh yeah, they're ready for the door. They're sure that they're gonna get a stern talking to about how you can't reveal that adults have emotions like caring and stuff.
I mean, on their way out, like Xalbaer. Xalbaer just didn't get to that point, but yeah. I was gonna say, as they go out, Xalbaer would tell them that he loves them, but in Leonin, he can't. He's willing to share that he has emotions, but not in front of not in front of the other two. He has to be tough.
He doesn't have to be tough.
No, but he has emotions, and he's been dealing with them, and he's not used to having emotions because things happened, and the emotions were on the wayside, so he's getting emotions back, but emotions are hard right now.
Oh, they're so hard. They suck.
They are.
So you guys pass through the door?
Yeah.
And you're now beyond the door, basically in the foyer/staircase. I don't know what to call this room. It's the room that has a staircase going through it after the room you just came out of.
I'm almost surprised that Axum isn't here with treats.
Axiom doesn't like me very much.
He doesn't like you very much. Have you done anything to make him not like you? Because I can definitely see that happening, but otherwise you're very likable.
I walk into a room and he leaves.
Well, that doesn't seem like you've done anything that bad.
Axiom is going through the teenage Angst stage and has issues.
Well, I know what you do with
issues. Slowly nods.
I know what you do with issues. You gotta hug them out of them! And Tutu Kid, like, glumps Olive and just goes, hug! Like, lift up tight arms, not quite choking, but only just.
Olive just kind of blanks, hug, and then returns it.
I would kill for Olive. And I'm not kidding.
I hope I'm doing Luis's character justice. That's all I'm saying.
I'm dying.
So, are we going to close this out with three of them walking back up the service stairs to the 13th floor.
I have a question before we do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When they stepped outside the door, do they keep the effects of the caffeine, or is the caffeine gone?
No, you keep the effects of the caffeine.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm surprised. I would have thought you would have taken that away from us, since it, like, the outside of the room, the stuff goes away.
Hee-hoo.
Mm-hmm.
I am eyes emoji now, because you have implied that there's lore reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I've got to add, aside from the fact that I'm looking at Heart very hard, is that Tutu Kid would either take Xalbaer's hand if Olive is holding Xalbaer's other hand, or both Xalbaer and Olive's hand if Olive doesn't need to hold Xalbaer's hand as they leave.
I mean, Olive isn't holding Xalbaer's hand because Tutu Kid picked them up.
Two-handed walk as they go into the sunset.
Yeah. Back up to the 13th floor.
Yep. As you get back to the 13th floor and you're passing through the memory room, Xalbaer, you see on the screen a suspiciously, strangely familiar bronze dragon roaring at Dection, Rod, Alexa, and Laura. And that's where we'll leave this one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye!
Goodbye.